Hi, everybody, and welcome to the RHAP B&B for week 3 of Survivor 47. My name is Mike Bloom, and though we are recording at night, it feels like morning because we are in mourning today as we salute our fallen comrade, Asia Welch, first of her name. Long may she reign. We're here to talk about everything that went wrong as she was as hung up and chewed up as one of Rome's 4 fish that he caught in this episode. I'm, of course, joined by Liana Boraas. Liana, how are you?
I took that personally, Mike. Okay.
Which part?
All of it. What a weird
Okay.
intro. It's always such a journey to try to follow you and okay, where's this thread going as you introduce the podcast? Which is always a great start. Within seconds, I'm already confused, which totally makes sense. Look, obviously this episode, as knowing Asia personally, very difficult to watch, but when I went back and rewatched it, it's actually kind of a fun episode. I don't know if that's sacrilegious to say in our time of mourning.
I'm going to say, this is probably my favorite episode of the season.
It was like the episode of personal conflict.
Exactly.
And what do I love? Personal conflict.
Petty bitches.
So the drama. I love it. And every tribe had their own personal conflict. And that's what made it, I think, a really fun episode. Of course, the boot notwithstanding.
Well, we are thrilled to be joined by our guest this week. She is sweeter than watermelon, pineapple, any food that Sam has never eaten before. Jenny Autumn, how are you?
I can't believe now my first thought is yeah, Sam has never eaten me.
Sweeter than eggplant, sweeter than broccolini.
Does he have to do another call out to his fiance on this call?
I'm sorry. I swear. Listen, I've never met Sam. Yes, I'm really, really glad to be here. I'm so happy that you guys invited me back. It's been a second since I've been on the B&B. I did text Mike at 9:31 p.m. After this episode to say, is it too late to call in sick from heartbreak? Because when I agreed to be on the B&B this week, very excitedly, I did not expect under these circumstances. And but you know what? If I am going to have to podcast about an episode of television that hurt my heart at the end, where I saw a dear friend have their dream taken way too soon from them, this is the venue to do it because you guys, we can keep it light and fun, and you guys are a safe place for me. The B&B is always somewhere I can go and fill up a glass of wine and make myself feel better. So I think if I were to do it, this is the place to do it. So we'll get through this together. It's gonna be fun.
Yeah, this is Asia's funeral, but the hearse is a clown car. That's what we're doing tonight.
It's what she would want.
All right, well, obviously, we're going to get into very recent events, but overall, Jenny, we're 3 episodes in, a little under a quarter of the season, Survivor 47 so far. Every tribe has gone to tribal council, so that's something that's very rare, especially in the new era. What are you thinking about this cast and the way things have been going for the past 5 hours of combined footage we've seen?
So here's the thing about me. I call myself an energy sponge. In that I feel deeply. I feel things very, very intensely. And I think objectively the season so far has been a banger. I think it's been very fun. We've gotten to know a lot about the interpersonal relations, like Liana saying. I feel like we've gotten a lot of camp life stuff. I'm learning a lot about how people feel about each other, which is my favorite thing about these shows. But 2 out of the 3 episodes were personally so stressful for me. I love Asia. I love baby Andy. The first episode, with Asia going on the journey and worrying about her being on the outs, and then obviously everything that was going on with Andy, I felt sick the entire time. I'm not lying. I cried. I felt sick. And then episode 2, I got a little bit of a reprieve. And it was things were trending upwards, and then I'm not gonna lie, I had a bad feeling going into episode 3.
Oh.
I felt pretty strongly that we were gonna get Lavo going to tribal, that we were gonna get our third, tribe going to tribal finally. But I was being cautiously optimistic that it was going to be fine. And I went in with an idea of what I thought might happen. I saw that previously on Survivor, and I saw Asia featured and like in the conflict with Rome, and I was like, oh Jesus Christ.
Yeah, the main person in conflict with the guy that has the one tribal idol.
Yeah. And so it's objectively, taking my personal big feelings out of it, it's been a really, really good season so far. And I think that it's setting things up for what could be a really fun ride. But my personal investment, because I am a big soft baby, has made it really hard for me to enjoy it. So I will say, on the rewatch, at least knowing what I was getting, like, you know what I mean? Knowing the result, I think I was able to actually enjoy the other things, because I was just tense the entire time. And I think that I blacked out during scenes of the episode. So it's a good thing I rewatched it. Yeah, obviously I'm very sad for Asia, and it was a rough start for Andy too. So it's been hard, but there's so many other people that I like on the cast that I didn't know before, and I'm invested in their journey. So even though I don't take any joy in Asia's journey being over here, at least maybe that will mean there are some episodes where I won't be like white knuckling like my phone, just like staring at the TV in pain. Not to make it about me, but it's been hard. I wish I could just take myself out of it, but that's just how she rolls.
The disrespect to TK. My gosh.
It's no disrespect to TK. I've never met TK. I don't know him.
Look, I think, yeah, I mean, obviously there's the sort of my own like personal rooting interests. And this happens on the show where you have a fave, right? I would say for me, the closest was probably Emily almost going out in episode 1. She was someone who I really connected with preseason and was so scared for her. Ended up having a long run, maybe similar to what Andy might experience in this game. But I think knowing someone on a personal level, the last time that happened to me was Owen from 43. And so I didn't really have to worry about that because Owen made it to the final tribal council. But I want to sort of put all of that personal stuff aside, because I think that that's only one lens to be looking at the show. I really think that focusing on the show from, okay, this is a TV product and we are watching, yes, Asia, we know Asia. Yes, we know baby Andy, but in my head, they're almost like two different things. That I'm seeing Asia on TV and it doesn't even feel like Asia. Like that's not right? Like, it's just fun to watch this character get into conflict with Rome. Like that was so enjoyable to me to watch her be so annoyed. It very much Katura Bruce 2.0 energy, where you have someone who just gets so annoyed with someone else. And I really feel like that's relatable content.
Yeah, and I think I even tweeted it like early in the episode where I still had like a morsel of hope that this wasn't going to go poorly. I was loving the drama between Asia and Rome, and I was like, I need this to continue for as long as possible in this season, because I knew Asia was a star. You know what I mean? I knew that she was just like an incredible person before this. Seeing her on TV like packaged as a character, like all of the facial expressions they were catching and stuff like that, I was like, oh my God, this is incredible. Like it's so cool to see her packaged as like a character that I have to kind of disconnect from, which was very, very hard. And so I was like, I wasn't just like, okay, well, anyone who stands in her way immediately has to go. I was like, I just want to see this continue. So obviously it was like doubly, disappointing for me to see this rivalry that could have lasted longer and provided more and more content and entertainment for us ended. And it didn't end in the way that I personally would have wanted it to. But you're right. Like you're seeing people, it's edited, you know what I mean? So it's like you can know a person under normal other circumstances, and then seeing them on a show that is produced and, under very stressful circumstances,
I
you're
was
not
gonna say,
going to
yeah. Not
see.
only that, like the idea that she hasn't slept or eaten in
Yeah, like you're not seeing
several
them the
days,
same
quite literally.
way.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
so it was interesting. Definitely. It's like it does kind of take you out of it, because there were times where I had to keep reminding myself, like, this is Asia, but also like this is Asia as like the show is presenting her and her experience.
No, I think that these fires continue to need to be stoked. I think as much fun as Saul is as he reacts to Rome, like Asia's pure derision at all things Rome. Now, maybe they purposely steer into the curve to build up this narrative, right? That would lead to her ouster in episode 3. But her talking about how in Rome's mind, every piece of fishing equipment has the name Rome on it, to fish spit gate, whether or not he was purposely doing it or not. Not since Don't Worry, Darling have we seen so much controversy over whether or not someone spit on somebody next to them. But it was just such a great way to have her react to his nonsense. And all that is to say as well, I don't know if this is a hot take, I am so entertained by Rome. I am immensely entertained by
Where do you
just
find him?
the absolute malarkey this man is providing, because he has somehow mixed together like Chris Noble with Rupert, with Jane from Nicaragua, with a little bit of Debbie with his like, no, I got to do this thing in the challenge myself. Like,
Yeah.
he truly is a one of a kind character. To your point, Jenny, I guess the answer to where they find him was a Fortnite tournament, maybe. But regardless, I'm glad it didn't take them a fortnight to put him on, because I would say the only thing that I don't like about Rome is the fact that he's gotten so much airtime about Rome. That's why I thought actually that Lava wouldn't go to tribal councils, because it was so much Rome in the first 2 weeks that I thought, okay, just like how Bello was like the Bruce tribe until the merge, I thought that Lava was going to be the Rome tribe, and I guess it still is.
Mm. I think with Rome also, I really like the Debbie comparison, actually.
Yeah.
For some reason,
Yeah.
I feel that that's quite apt. Maybe it's all the jobs, because when
Yeah.
Rome is describing all of his experiences, it very much to me fits with, we should be seeing these different chyrons of all the different
Jobs that
things
he could have had. It's like
exactly.
could have been
But
a rapper.
I
Could have
think
been a
for
basketball player.
it's the level of pettiness. That's what really makes me so happy, that he's purposefully saying, I'm going to eat these 2 fish. I'm going to make so much noise, smack it on their bones, that she's going to hear me.
I'd
It's
lose it.
so petty.
I love
Like,
it. I love it.
we had the Kendrick Lamar Drake beef. Like, this is, the next level of that. Okay. So the biggest hater for sure. It's really, really entertaining. And I think and obviously it's not just Lavo that has that drama. It seems to be probably the most extreme over there with Rome and his very intense character. But we have Sue v. Kyle over on Tuku. You also have Annika and Sam, who are
Yep.
also
Oh, yeah.
going at it, right? So every single tribe had their own story of 2 people just not getting along. Maybe, as Andy described it, hitting that survivor wall.
That's the thing. Yeah, it really does feel like, I think apparently a lot of players say like 7 or 8 days in is from like a metabolic level, your body really starts to shut down, that you're realizing you're expending much more calories than you're taking in. And I don't know if it's coincidental that we have seen all of these grievances bubble to the surface in the exact same time frame.
And I know that Asia talks about this in her exit press, about how like it takes a lot for her to get irritable and actually express that feeling so like palpably. And that's the thing, is like I would have never predicted for Asia that a big part of her story and journey would be about her intense annoyance with another person, because uh, you know, a lot of people in the podcast sphere that could potentially end up on the show, I was not worried for her at all, because I'm like, this person, like, she is so level-headed. She is so personable. She's so good. Like this, she enjoys talking to people on airplanes.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like, and for the fact that she is the one who was just so visibly irritated by this person, and other people were, but like it was so intense for her. You could see it on her face, and it made for excellent television. But I'm sad that it was so hard for her out there, because it's true. Like this thing will put you in a situation where things about yourself that don't come out in everyday life come up with the right/wrong person. Like it is very, very interesting to me. And I truly think that if she was in a situation without a Rome there, this could be a totally different story for her, because I don't think that many people can cause that sort of reaction from someone like her. I never would have predicted this. But Rome is one of a kind. Like,
Oh yeah.
and other people are expressing their frustration. Like, it's not like she was the only one who was giving confessionals about being like, oh my God, it's a lot. Like, you could see it on other people's faces, but it's just the way things shook out. I don't know. It does sort of seem like he maybe already decided before that he wasn't vibing with her. And it's like, I think sometimes that's when you can tell someone doesn't mess with you, then it's like you pick up on that and you're like, okay, and you're going to start getting annoyed by them as well. Like, I think that maybe that a little bit of that was happening between Asia and Rome, like her going away on the journey. I don't know if that, like, she lost time
he
making
said it was a big
connection.
mistake.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know. But Rome just seems to decide things about people. Like in the same episode, he was like celebrating TK's demise to Kyle, like in his like laughing in this man's face, being like, TK's gone. I'm like, what? You don't even know this man. Why are you like excitedly celebrating to, you don't know what Kyle's relationship to TK was. Like,
Yeah, do you think Kyle's heart broke all over again? But no.
I'll never not make you laugh.
But I do love you. I absolutely love that Kyle says the TK went, and Rome double fist pumps like that egotistical son of a bitch.
So cocky.
I love it.
Oh, Rome,
that's the thing. Is listen, I think your mileage may vary as to, the Jeff Probst argument about how he doesn't necessarily want to see, the villains in the ways that they were back in the days, which is to say assholes. I think Survivor still is producing antagonists. And Rome is a fantastic antagonist. I mean, he's lying back, like he's made the entire island his recliner, subtitling the season, giving it the theme Survivor Rome. Like, this guy, you give him an inch and he's going to take your house. And I love that he has produced as much great TV as he has and will until inevitably the fall of Rome comes.
Well, I think while we don't have Asia anymore, which it is actually very interesting that Rome and Asia are the two that got into conflict. With if you're going to take a city versus a continent, which one's going to win? I would probably have bet on the continent, but
Oh, did you like
Asia's
Rome's
a big continent.
Yeah, did you like Rome's drawing, by the way, of Asia?
No, he said it, right? So he said, "Oh, wouldn't that be funny if we drew the continent of Asia?" And
he was so sold to do it.
Yeah, no, I saw it, and I still was like, "What is that?" And I knew that was probably going to happen. It still took me a while to figure it out. Maybe some geography lessons are necessary. But anyway,
can people draw continents easily, like from brain? I don't think I could even draw my own continent. Well,
like North America,
I could draw, but like I think it would just look like a shape.
It is.
I don't know.
Oh, maybe it's like a Rorschach test. Yeah, where it's like,
oh yeah,
Asia looks the way you want it to. Look at this. What does it remind you of?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's actually the game we're playing today. It's draw your own continent. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I'm screwed. So no cheating. Look, to go. Okay, so we don't have Asia anymore, right? Okay, but we have the Asian who's rooting for Asia in Saul is still
Asians
there.
for Asia.
And yes, rooting for Asians, rooting for Saul. So here's the thing, though. So many great Rome moments in this episode. The one
Romance,
for me,
please.
though, that I really, really liked was when Rome is lying to Saul about when this is still when the vote's on
Oh,
Saul.
I love it.
And Saul's like, you just wouldn't you just be telling me that to like get me to be confident? And Rome's lie in that moment, it's like subtle, but it's so bad, right? Like obviously it's not one of the over the top moments for Rome, but there's that close up of his face and you can see the thinking. Like you can see him trying to craft the lie. It's so obvious. Saul can see right through it. I mean, Saul saw through his body language when he lost the vote. So I think that there's still an oppositional force to Rome, even though Asia
we
is
see
long
next
gone.
episode. It looks like there's going to be a little bit of tailing when it comes to an idol search. So yeah, Saul's gonna pick up that petty baton from where Asia left off, and which is also very exciting too, because yes, Rome does have. I mean, it's tough, and this is certainly the argument as to whether or not the move should be done. Is that like, okay, if Genevieve is apparently as locked in with Rome as we have been told, and he now has a vote steal, then arguably he has 3 votes out of 5. But, they could easily, I think, convince him that they have the votes and he doesn't need to use the vote steal and possibly get rid of him. I mean, I think the idol, for now, until he ends up inevitably finding another one, definitely depowers him a bit, where I think there is still a little bit of like genuine personality magnetism. I don't think Teeny and Kishan are really saying like, we are holding our nose. We hate working with Rome, but we will for this vote. Like, I think there is at least a little bit of something that made them click. Otherwise, they wouldn't have joined up in the first episode. But I do think that having that idol kind of out of the way, again, as long as he doesn't find it, will make the options a lot more appealing, because then he could be considered an option from now on.
I will say on the rewatch of the episode too as well, because like I said, when you're watching it in real time and you're stressed about the result, like things just happen, and I think that I just stress blacked out during a lot of it. And also you're like thinking about the result that you want to happen, so you're kind of like. So anyway, rewatching it, I saw so much that told me Teeny had been saying at various points throughout the episode, they were saying, Kishan is my number one, and we're leaning towards working with Rome and Genevieve. Like, that was said more than once. That sentiment was shared more than one time. And so not a lot of explanation why. And that's the argument that you could make, because it's like, okay, you're having to choose between 2 pairs. And I think that it just depends on like what you want for your long game, because in my opinion, there's like two ways you can do it. You look at Asia and Saul as 2 very savvy, even
Very
keeled
sweaty
people. I don't know their sweat level, but and people that you could rely on to be a tight, solid 4 if you can get to a merge situation together. And however, if you're concerned about, your win equity working long term with 2 people that you think are also threats to win, I guess I can see the rationale of being like, I need to go to the merge with people that I also think I can beat. Like, I'm working with them, but I also think that I can beat them in a situation. And I think that that's where the Rome and Genevieve side of it becomes a desirable path if you're Teeny and Kishan, because again, I can't speak too much on what Genevieve's position in game is, because we have not been given a lot of information. We haven't even heard from Genevieve a lot about how she feels about Rome, but we are being told like third party that they're really tight.
Episode 1.
We
obviously.
know that
so much.
she named the Flint Mr. Flint.
Oh, that was
Okay.
the cutest thing
It is.
ever.
It's a good
Bye-bye,
name.
Mr. Flint.
She did say, they were trying to give her content in this episode where she could have possibly been a boot, which
Should we cast, like, who could we bring in to voice Mr. Flint? What would be a fun celebrity voice?
I mean,
Okay.
I just think of like Ken McNichol because I'm thinking of like Squid McSquiddington. Like, and I'm like, I'm Mr.
Oh,
Squid.
I gotcha.
Like I'm hearing Ken McNichol's voice
Oh,
when
see,
I think of
I was
Mr.
thinking
Flint.
like more celebrity. I was thinking like H. John
No.
Benjamin, Bob's Burgers.
Yeah,
Like,
okay. I was
maybe I'm
like,
just thinking
Seth
They have that
Rogen,
budget.
maybe.
oh yeah, Seth Rogen. Okay,
Oh,
Genevieve. Oh.
Yeah.
oh, you can use me to light a spliff.
To go back to what you were talking about, Jenny, in terms of the argument of like what side do you go with?
Yeah.
We always hear this, and I also personally believe that if you're going to find an ally, you want to find someone who's loyal to you. And there are not a lot of ways to show loyalty on Survivor. Voting, that's one way, but also sharing information is another. If
Yeah.
I'm in Teeny's
Yeah.
position and there's someone who's coming up to me sharing everything with me, to me, that's a sign of loyalty. That's a sign
Yeah.
that they're willing to tell me that they found the idol box, allow me to look at the idol box and still be chill with working with me after I showed the idol box to someone else. Also, tell me about the fact that they didn't actually lose their vote. They indeed got a steal a vote, right? So
Yeah.
there's multiple examples where Rome is demonstrating loyalty. And
Yeah.
that I think can't be understated and is something that, especially in the first couple days when you haven't even been to tribal council, I think that means a lot.
Yeah, for a first vote, especially of like, this guy's
Yeah.
giving me information for free. This is someone that I not only want to keep around, but also keep in my good graces too. Like, obviously, the discussion was not going to be go for Rome, but go for Genevieve. But,
Right.
I think fool me once, shame on you, fool me twice. I'm going to vote you out next time. I think Rome would feel incredibly burned if after all of this, his closest ally goes out. And now, yes, he's outnumbered, but he, has the opportunity to, much like everyone else did on the journey, just like spread information like wildfire to everybody else.
And that was another one of the things that I caught in the rewatch is that Teeny said, I think Rome is actually pretty loyal. And I wonder if Rome had not come back and told Teeny what had actually happened and that he had gotten the extra vote and had lied, whether Teeny would be as like looking to work with him as much, because I really thought that they'd be way more spooked about the situation with the idol box. Like maybe it was just the way it was edited to feel like, oh my god, this is so awkward. Like you got caught showing another person that was not looped in on this before Rome even went to look at it himself and read it. Like that was so bad. I was thinking like I would be wanting to get rid of that person the soonest possible chance I could, because I'm scared that they are holding back and just like, okay, I know I can't trust this person, but I'm going to pretend I can trust them. Like I would probably spiral about it being like, that was so bad. Like that looked really bad on me and I need to get rid of this person because but I think the fact that he showed another vote of confidence in coming back from the journey and saying, here's the real story. I did get the extra vote or the steal a vote, that kind of solidified like, okay, I haven't lost him. I did not like screw up when I brought Kishan over to look at the idol. Like he does want to work with me. So you know what? He's got some power. And the what I was going to say is that like you look at Saul and Asia as two people that are like very strategic, socially savvy type people that are going to get with other people and probably make friends. Rome is going on journeys and is laughing in the face and celebrating about another like person on another tribe going without having any context of whether that's a happy thing for the person that you're like he's so messy that I can imagine being Teeny and Kishan looking at him and being like, okay, like he's a mess, but he's our mess.
Mhm.
And if we get to emerge, he might get clipped, but hopefully it won't be me. Now, there's the flip side of being like, do people continue to keep a wild card like Rome in the game, being like, he's socially a mess and is not going to get votes if he gets far and gets to the end? be more afraid of a Teeny, of a Keyshawn, like, and perhaps would they have been better to keep other targets like an Asia, a Soul? Like, that's what I'm questioning of. But again, I'm sure that these were the things that Keyshawn and Teeny were weighing in this decision of the two pairs to go to. And it's like, as much as I personally hurt, I can understand the reasoning of being like, these two I don't think have a chance at gathering an army against me, and I don't think that they're going to. I think that they're going to be loyal to me, and I think that I could beat them. And I think that they're going to make themselves a bigger target than me. So watching it back, I understood a little bit more. And it was kind of, explained to us a little bit. But yeah.
That was beautifully said. All I could think when you said vote of confidence was, I feel like there's something there that you can name an advantage.
Ooh. I got the vote of confidence. Oh, could be an advantage name.
Okay, wait. Okay, yes, you have the vote of confidence advantage. This entitles you to.
It's honestly inspired by Rome. He is his own vote of confidence.
I kind of feel like it's a better name for the bank a vote advantage, where you purposely don't vote at this tribal council so you can vote again in a future one, of like, ooh, I am confident that my vote isn't needed tonight, so I can use it later on.
Boom. Okay, so just like Shot in the Dark, everyone starts with a vote of confidence advantage, okay? And you can choose to play your vote of confidence. It's exactly what Mike said, where I'm so confident, I'm banking my vote of confidence, okay? That's what you bank your vote, then you don't vote, and then you can use your vote at a later tribal council.
And now, is it always obvious? Because with the Shot in the Dark, it's revealed that someone played the Shot in the Dark. Like, you know what I mean?
No, I know. You just have to do the math.
Yes. You have to do the math.
Okay.
And then also, because they keep doing this stupid lose the vote thing, then you can be like, oh yeah, I lost my vote, but then you actually play your vote of confidence. And
I love that.
To talk about that stupid, I'm so, oh my God. Okay, I know it works perfectly with the vote of confidence advantage, and it's obviously in favor of anything we come up with, no matter how stupid. So pro vote of confidence, very anti steal a vote, lose a vote thing. When you have a tribe of 5 people, to me, that takes so much drama out of a potential situation. If we have Yellow gotta go back to tribal council, to me, it feels so boring. I'm bored. Yeah, I feel like it's more boring than anything else. Like, to me, that immediate risk is just so not worth it.
Yeah, because otherwise, like, if it's a possible 3-2 vote and someone's on the middle and you have to figure out who to swing over, no, you just need an ally and a steal a vote, and you're basically good no matter what.
It's so, I really, 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 really don't like the lose a vote. I mean, I understand the whole risk reward thing that they want to go with. So, okay, so you have to offer up some kind of risk reward. You go on, and I understand, should they have gotten the chance to pick from the bag? They went on the journey. That's them choosing to risk. Okay, so they've chosen to risk. So there's got to be some risk involved. Can we come up with something else that's not a lose a vote? Maybe it's a lose your tribe something from the tribe.
Goodbye, Mr. Flint.
Goodbye, Mr. Flint. Yes, you have to like risk something for the group. I don't know, or just something else other than the lose a vote. I find it. I just find it annoying.
I mean, vote is like the one thing you have, right? Like, you know, like
your vote is your voice.
Yeah, that's the one thing you can use.
But especially in 5 small tribes, especially in small tribes.
Well, this is the thing, though. I'm not I agree totally that I think the lose a vote has not only gotten a little road, I think it does, ironically enough, cause more stagnant gameplay in a tribe of 5. My issue was more so, okay, you're going on the journey. We, for some reason, brought back the Matt Blankenship 44 premiere. Okay, reach into the bag and see if you grab it and double or nothing. But you're forced to do it. Like, that's the thing to me, is that yes, you could go back or forth as to whether or not you lose your vote, but 80% of journeys, you have the opportunity to offer it up, at least. Usually when you go on the journey, you can choose not to play if you don't want to. Now, maybe sometimes, like in 46, we saw like, okay, one of you must play. But even then, there's still like this first barrier to entry. Here, once again, I still don't understand why. No, the second you step foot on that boat, the second you risk your vote. And it just feels like an unnecessary step to me.
they want things to they want there to be these wrinkles, and now that they've seen people choose not to do things, they're like, well, that's like production is like, that's not fun. Like,
well, you know what? If they want wrinkles, we need Botox right now. Iron those wrinkles out. I don't want no wrinkles.
Yeah, it's rough, and again, we won't know. Maybe in the next episode we'll get more of an explanation from Teeny and Kashan about why the decision to go, where they did. But you have to think like, because everyone's talking like, well, why? Like they could have literally done what they told Asia they were going to do, put the votes on Genevieve and just make sure that Rome plays the idol on himself, and then he doesn't have an idol next, and you have the numbers. But then when he also has a steal a vote, and about that now, that's like, you know that this person's loyal to you, and if you choose to wrong them, you can't get them out. You know that they have an idol, so you have to get out someone that they're working with. You've now like pissed them off, and they now still have something. Like I can see from Teeny's perspective how that can be very, very intimidating, and that it's like you could want to work with that because they're clearly giving you information, but it's also like a little scary. You're like, this is not the person I want to piss off. I think the vote on Saul, did Saul get one vote? Was that just like a shot in the dark protection, do we think? Because I was trying to figure out like, why are they pissing off Saul as well? Like,
well, listen, I think they've kind of in for a penny, in for a pound. Like he's pissed off no matter what.
Yeah, that's very fair.
Well, I think the only question I think I still have lingering was because I know Asia in her exit interviews didn't talk about a 2-2 split.
She did.
She did. Okay.
Yeah.
I don't remember.
But it was because of the vote steal. Because if it's a 2-2 split and Rome steals someone's vote or uses an extra vote, then it doesn't matter, right? Because then he has the majority no matter what. So she felt like it had to be split 3-1 if they had 4.
Wait.
Yeah, but he's okay. All right, sure.
Wait,
okay,
can he
sure.
play the steal a vote after the? I'm so confused. Like you're saying that he could have.
So let's say play it before, though, right? Yeah, wouldn't you have to play it before? So you would
2-2-2, and so if let's say it's Keyshawn and Teeny voting for Genevieve, and Asia and Saul voting for Rome, and then Genevieve and Rome voting for Asia, Rome can say, I'm stealing Asia's vote, and then it doesn't matter if it splits, because then it's
what's
then
the order
of
operations? That's what we're talking about. What's the order of operations? Because
when you have to do that before
vote.
Yes.
Yeah, so they would know that Rome's stealing a vote.
Right. And then they'd have to do like a hurried up whispering to be like, no, put all the votes on Rome instead, or put all the votes on Genevieve instead.
But then you just plan for that. You just say, okay, if he doesn't use it, we'll do a 2-2 split. If he does use it, then we do this.
Well, that's what they were trying to do preemptively, basically, by being like, okay, if he uses something, or also they didn't know if they had a vote steal or an extra vote. If he uses an extra vote as well, like that also kind of jeopardizes the situation.
Ultimately, we're thinking about this from the perspective of Saul and Asia, who were assuming that they were the 4. They were the core 4 with Keyshawn and Teeny. And I think very evidently there was a decision of, okay, well, we're going with Rome and Genevieve, and it's a matter of who are we letting go of, Saul or Asia. And I think that I don't know how much the conversation about Asia not willing to vote for Saul ended up weighing, like whether it was going to be her or him. But I think it's great to think about all these scenarios, but I think that the decision may have already been made at that point, and it was more so like, but if you're Asia and you think that this is your 4, I completely understand where she's coming from, being like, this is the 4. This is our 4. We don't need to let go of Saul. Like, let's keep this together. When Teeny and Kishan are like, kind of like, well, we're probably just going to get rid of one of you. So it's you. I'm going to try and keep you. I just think that maybe there's just nothing we could do in this situation. There's too much power. And that's the decision they made. And I think like we've laid out the reasons to keep those 2. You can make sense of it. I don't know if it works out. It could really blow up in their face, but
I've been trying to think, Liana, since you've been speaking about what you could give up instead of your vote? I don't know. Like, could
Your
you?
underwear.
You could give up your clothes, maybe. I mean, that's a very valuable asset of yours. Could you
Ooh.
could you be like, I mean, could it be more of a tribal decision? Could you be like, I will give our tribe a disadvantage in the next challenge if I lose this game?
Yeah, that's on
Yeah.
like similar vibes to giving up the flint, right? That you have to, and also
Something
you
will
have
piss
to
them off.
risk something that is a group reward for personal gain. I think in that situation, though, I almost want the odds to be better because I want people to
Yeah.
go for it. Like what I
Yeah.
don't want people to do is that you can, if they have the choice, right? Assuming they have the choice, then to just say like, no, look, I don't want to piss people off. But if you have a 2 1/3 shot of getting an advantage, like then maybe people will go for it. I think that that could be quite fun. The other thing I was thinking is if it's close to merge, you could, maybe give up a shot at individual immunity.
I was
But that's
literally
like
going to
later
suggest
on
that,
down the
Liana.
line.
I know, because I was like, if it's too early and they're like, I don't even know if I'm gonna get there. I gotta make sure that I can, like, I don't know.
Or maybe you have to do something special in the next immunity
Yeah, I
challenge.
want a little.
You
I
have
want
to say a
some
thing.
days.
Yeah, you
Say
have to like do a thing,
say
say a
thing.
Or
thing,
like you can
sabotage. I
only
don't know.
speak in rhyme for the next 3 days, or
Yeah.
you're disqualified.
Yeah, we take you out the island.
Or yeah, you have like a side quest you have to complete in the next immunity challenge, and if you fail it, your tribe immediately like loses immunity or something.
That's the actual immunity
All right,
challenge.
well, you did win this
Yeah.
challenge, Lavo, but
But-
Teeny, you weren't hopping on one foot during the puzzle. So
There's
I'm
like a
sorry.
disqualification or something. I don't know. I love a cheeky side quest.
Sam has to eat pineapple.
And broccolini together.
Oh my god. A little bit of a hot take. I would not be surprised if this is like the D's toe scene where we're like, remember when we watched D's toe and we're like, why was that in the episode? Like, where did that come from? Because like we've got a bunch of other Sam stuff in this episode. Obviously, the pettiness between him and Annika. I don't think it will come into prominence as much as D's toe did with that immunity win. But if Sam ends up winning, we might have to start watching these odd number seasons. And like, if someone just gets the most out of nowhere character moment about something that has nothing to do with the game, that person's got the $1 million check written out for them.
Or he's
maybe-
like sorry.
Oh, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, like, he makes it to like the final 3 breakfasts and there's like watermelon and pineapple at it. And he's like, wow, can't believe on Survivor I'm having my first watermelon and pineapple.
That's what I'm
And
hoping
there's
for.
broccolini.
Some kind of callback, some point.
Yeah.
I don't know if he's gonna have to eat eggplant later on or something, but like I need this to come back. I really, really want this.
I want
to
a
be called back.
reason for
I
this
need a-
to
yeah,
have been
exactly.
a scene.
Because otherwise that's ridiculous. The fact that he's never had watermelon or pineapple. And I love how the way that I don't remember who it was, Rachel maybe, who was like, so you've never been around watermelon. It's like, no, I've been around watermelon.
I've just never
All my
tried
best
it.
friends are watermelon.
Yeah.
But like I personally just not interested in watermelon. What? It's amazing.
Yeah.
Which is the more entertaining conflict on the other 2 tribes that we liked out of this episode, and hopefully from more episodes to come? Annika versus Sam or Kyle versus Sue? Kyle versus Sue, though, also seems like a little more one-sided.
It's one-sided. That's why I
Right.
like Annika versus Sam way more. I'm way more invested in that feud. It feels like mutual disdain, and I don't take poor baby Kyle. I feel like is on his own little island. He's trying, and Sue has power and is just like, you voted for me, and so you're dead to me. Whereas
I
like,
love it.
Annika, like the Annika and Sam thing is so much more exciting to me because we haven't seen any sort of strike at each other besides them getting frustrated interpersonally. Whereas like we know like Kyle voted for
Sue.
Sue, and that's why Sue is mad, and he's trying to kind of like get in with her now, and she's not having it. So we've seen something play out there that explains it. I think that I love when people are so annoyed personally with people that it clouds their game judgment. And like they start making decisions not based on what they think is best for their game and more on what they personally want for themselves because they're so irritated with somebody. Like, I feel like we've seen a lot. That was almost like a big theme of Big Brother this past season, where it's just like people are making decisions that are like because they just dislike somebody, or they just like, I don't know. I love seeing that kind of conflict where it's like literally clouding their judgment. They're like, I don't care if this is what's best. This person is driving me crazy. I want them gone. And how that fuels their game decisions. So that's why I'm more invested in that one, because we haven't seen how it could play out. I mean, Sam has literally said that that's who his next target in the tribe is. Like, he said to Sierra that he wants to keep Andy. So we have to believe that if they have their way and they go to tribal, that Annika is going to be the target. But what if they don't ever go back to tribal?
That's the thing, is that this might be another Ellie Gabler situation, where like the tension just brews and brews until it gets to a mergatory situation. I will say, I agree that I think Kyle and Sue, I mean, it's very fun to have Sue basically turn away any information due to the fact that he voted for her. I mean, Abby Marie Sue, I'm so happy to see her
So good.
emerge here. But Annika versus Sam, I would say even more so than Rome versus Asia, felt so palpable. There's that one moment where they're cutting the end of the clothesline, and like, I understand what Annika's doing, trying to encourage her to be like, Sam, sawing would look better than hacking. Girl, he's holding a blade, and the blade is 6 inches from your face. Do you really want to try to micromanage in this moment? Like, maybe step around the corner and then you can advise from afar.
I would have been more scared of the bouncing of the knife near my face. That
Like
to
going
me is more terrifying. Yeah, exactly. But the moment where she suggests to do the sawing and it immediately cuts was just it's so awkward. And he gets full named. He's not Sam, he's Samuel.
Samuel.
That just adds another level of intensity to this situation. I mean, and now with Annika having lost her vote, I'm actually maybe weirdly less invested in that situation, and maybe more invested in Tuku because of Gabe specifically wanting to bring in Kyle, and also giving that oddly specific situation where Gabe would call Kyle to be his limousine driver, and that Kyle would fly to Baltimore to be his limousine. Why is Kyle a limousine driver? Is this something I don't know about? Why a limousine driver? It felt weirdly specific.
I feels like he kind of has the limousine cap. Like, he's got that little dangle cap that he could be like, sure thing, Mr. Gabe, to the Hilton.
Get you there right away, sir.
Oh, Mr. Gabe, there are baby birds on the side of the road. Should we pick them up?
Yeah, Gabe, like, his analogies for people are so strange. Like, we had the birds, and now he's just like, yeah, Kyle, he could be my on-call limousine driver. Like, this is where we're at in season 47. You know, we've run out of the obvious analogies for people, and we're trying to be like, oh yeah, they're my dead birds. Ah yes, they're my on-call.
We've got the birds aren't dead. Why did we talk about this?
No, they're dead birds.
No, you guys
past it.
You guys have made this the lore, okay? This is going to be Mandela effect of the birds.
It is not dead. It has not ceased to be.
I'm sorry. I've decided that is part of the lore now. That you've put it out there.
Well, I think that's what Gabe's final tribal council speech will be. If he sits there next to Sue and Caroline, he's like, I found these little baby birds, but before they grew up, I murdered them with my bare hands, and I took them in my fists, and I punched my way through the game. When all of you got hit, decked in the eye, got a nice shiner, it was the brass knuckles of baby bird beaks peeking through my fingers. That's right. I did it. I weaponized them.
And everyone's like, what is happening? Is he having a meltdown?
That's so specific.
Rome's like, too arrogant.
Yeah.
Too arrogant. Get him out of here. Can't vote for him. Too cocky.
Kyle's like, do you need a ride? Can I take you somewhere?
And I took that personally.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, we need to get back to Asia. But for just a second.
Hmm.
Let's get
Are we
into
flying to give her a ride to the airport?
As
Yes,
her limousine
exactly.
driver.
We'll
We're
all be
flying
the
to
limousine
Asia.
driver. We'll give the ride of Asia to Asia, that connection. It's time to talk about how we thought Asia would do
Oh
in
my gosh.
the preseason.
Oh boy.
Now, Liana, I'll have you stop at just the Survivor 47 prediction before we move on to Survivor 50 and then Asia
Of
becoming the
course,
host of the
yeah.
show.
Obviously.
So how did you think she was going to do before the season started?
Well, I did have Asia making the finale. So
And listen, this is, if you're gonna be wrong, this is the one to be wrong on, okay?
right. You know what? I shot for amongst the stars for Asia. Okay. So I said that she would create a tight relationship early with Teeny over their
Mhm.
shared love of Survivor. They bring in Saul as their third and run things on Lavo pre-jury. Once the merge hits, Asia slides into the background as more intense OTT players knock each other out of the game. However, once those rambunctious players are gone, Rome, Sam, Sue, Gabe sets his sights on the social threats, his number one target, Asia. In a 3-2 vote, Asia is taken out of the game. Her ally was Teeny and her enemy was Gabe.
I think we now came out with a perfect way to describe Rome. He's Rome-bunctious.
He is so rambunctious.
Rambunctious.
Being
Wow.
real rambunctious right now.
I love getting my favorite thing about the predictions along the way is like piecing together the story of like what you guys think is going to happen. And so I feel like I've gotten so much intel about what Liana thinks is going to happen. This is very fun. I mean, here's the thing, Mike, obviously you still have to say what you think is going to happen. I feel like you're maybe going to go in a similar road. It's like, there is very reasonable, like there are enough reasons to say Asia making finale, Asia winning. She had all of the tools in you could take this cast and like shuffle it in a bunch of different ways. I think there are so many versions of that where she is long game. So I probably would have made a similar prediction here. But Mike, this is where Mike's like, I said Asia was first boot.
Yep, that's me, Mr. Pessimist over here. I mean,
No.
Liana, I think we should call ourselves the Natalie and Nadia of podcasting because first episode, you and I both said John Lovett would make pre-jury.
Yes.
Last week, you and I both said TK would be pre-jury.
Yes.
This week, you and I both said Asia would make the finale.
Boom, boom,
Wow.
boom.
So this just makes it even worse for our guests who really have to comb through the finer details. And comb we shall. This is what I had to say about our good friend, Asia. I said, Teeny's knowledge of RHAP forced Asia into an alliance of mutually assured destruction, though eventually, through circumstance and a lack of options, they'll end up becoming her tightest ally in the game. Asia and Teeny work together to form the Lavo Tories, the majority alliance that's going to flush away the competition.
No.
Good Lord, Mike.
The core group dominates the pre-merge and looks to continue where the last red tribe left off until a massive power shift massively changes the game, resulting in Rome's blindside. After that, Asia and Teeny look to be primed to go, but between an individual win streak by Asia and the ever-shifting sands of power, they're able to somehow dig their way out of things, becoming the last pair standing. Asia's streak of safety finally ends when she loses Final Four immunity. The tightest duo in the game is forced into fire-making, where Asia goes down to Teeny. In her final words, she can barely look into the camera, vaguely uttering, "Rob, I tried my best." As a result, upstart RHAP fans start a change.org petition to end Final Four fire-making. It gets 420 signatures. Her closest ally was Teeny. Her enemy was Jeff Probst circa 2017.
Wow. I'm depressed now. You know what? I've had a couple days to get over this. And Mike, your explanation of the sadness of Asia not being able to look at the camera in her final words and saying, Rob, I did my, oh my God, I'm hurt. Oh, wow. Okay. This is, yeah, this is hard because if you guys are just going real close on each of these, makes it really difficult. Okay. I do have a decision though. I do have a
Okay,
decision. I am going to give this one to Liana. Listen, you guys very similar paths. You foresaw her working with Teeny. I think that a lot of us were expecting and hoping for that. I'm gonna give this to Liana because in her explanation, she also at least mentioned Soul, which I think ended up being, clearly Asia's real true number one ally. And if we're gonna use placement, Asia goes out at 5 instead of 4 in Liana's prediction. So that I if we're gonna we're splitting hairs at this point, okay? Guys both had very similar. But yeah, I'm gonna give this one to Liana. But
That's a very nice way to say that I just gave you terminal depression with my
yeah, you
prediction.
also pulled me back into a dark place that I was not prepared for. So that also colored my perspective here. No, but when you are deciding between two very similar outcomes, you have to start being like, okay, what are the little tiny details here that make it feel like one is a little bit closer to the other? So maybe if you had mentioned hating Rome. I mean, you said a Rome blindside.
Yes, she hates Rome.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I knew that.
Oh, sorry, I missed that.
I had that. I just
there was
didn't
just
read
a
that.
smudge on the screen.
Oh yeah. I skipped that line. Oh my god, so stupid. I can't.
What are we at now?
I mean, listen, I think Liana and I are already kind of like in the doghouse for not picking Asia as our winner pick, both. But I think also as well, like it was a win-win for us in that if Asia won, that's great. If she didn't win, then there was a chance that someone else we picked won.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, you have to have that contingency plan, and I understand and respect that from both of you. But yes, I'm going to give this one to Liana.
Diversified our assets.
Yes, you must.
As one does. We're known for that sound financial advice on the B&B.
Hashtag business.
All right. Well, let's talk about something a little less serious than business with our businessman hats. Let's talk about fashion.
Yeah.
Well, put on my fashion hat now.
Yes, exactly. Thank you, Mike.
Speaking of fashion, Mike, I'm loving your shirt.
Oh, thank you. I wear this to every funeral.
It's like a moon skull thing.
Yeah,
is that a moon skull?
It's a moon skull.
It's a
The skull
what
and
are
a
the
moon.
other little
there's a skull sun and there's a skull moon, and then there's like just sort of.
Are those like
they're not exactly pentagrams, but they're probably like a distant cousin of a pentagram.
It's giving spoopy season,
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, I'm also wearing the shirt I wear to all funerals.
Yes, let's see the status.
Holding up quite nicely, I would say.
Yeah.
Speaking of fashion, the hat,
washing machine. Oh yeah, top tier fashion. All right,
so in the dryer, Liana, is what I want to know.
We air dry our clothing.
You have a clothesline?
We have a clothesline.
Oh, and what was it like setting it up?
Because I mean,
the clothes are wet.
Some hacks. I couldn't full name Puya. His name's already Puya, so it was difficult. But
you could full Puya Zambakili.
Jenny, I always thought that Liana and Puya had something going on. I'm not sure though.
But I'm engaged.
Tell everyone.
All right. As you may have guessed, we are going to do Buff or Snuff, where we talk about the fashion items from this season. King. Which, by the way, so I had already grabbed, there's the moment when we have the tepid altercation on Gata where Andy is just twirling his hair, and I had grabbed that still and then went on Twitter not 5 minutes later to find that Mike Bloom had also tweeted essentially the same still. So I really think that the hair twirling is just general vibes. We should all keep that in the back of our heads.
Andy brings up his Sorry, I was just gonna say Andy brings up how his hair looks in this episode when he's talking to Sierra. Was that this episode or last episode?
Yeah, no, it was this episode.
Yeah, it was this episode. And his hair is looking beautiful.
So good.
So good.
The last person's hair I remember was Jamie.
Mm-hmm.
That her hair also, I feel like, looked absolutely gorgeous, and I think he's got that shine, those locks, just
Well, that's the thing.
stunning.
If you're not washing, like the natural oils are left in there, and you're basically living out a Garnier Fructis commercial for 6 days.
Oh man, that stuff smells so good. I'm telling you that like a great amount of the episode, Phil and I are just saying how handsome Andy is. Like we're constantly just like, look at him. Look at that man.
That
So I
smile,
love this
that
look.
damn
It's almost like
smile.
his hair is almost kind of doing like a mushroom with the way the buff is kind of pushing it up.
I actually
Um,
genuinely don't even know how he is doing that. I
Yeah,
tried, and
it
it's
kind of looks
I think
like
it's
the
just, like-
bump it.
it does look like
yeah,
a bump
it's kind of
it.
just like
Yeah,
pushing it up like that.
Yeah.
Honestly,
Can't.
love it.
All right. So the very first look that we're going to talk about, well, the specific item that we're going to talk about was what inspired originally the idea to do buffer snuff.
Oh,
is
Liana,
also-
this is usually behind a paywall.
I know.
Yeah.
Well, it's
Toes!
covered. So wait. Wait a second. Okay. So literally the whole.
Oh, I thought you were
okay,
about to show us your
wait,
toes,
wait.
Liana.
No. I
You
am
got
also
hopped up
wearing
on your
socks.
chair.
No, okay. Well, I'm just so passionate about this. So, okay. So, for those of you who are not watching the video, this is a pictures of Asia's socks, specifically the ones that she was wearing in the challenge. Why was she wearing socks in the challenge? Was it because to protect against the wiki feet thing? Like, is that why? Because
Are they
I
like
can't-
slippers?
that's why I can't even imagine wearing like wet fabric socks to swim in the ocean and then walk across a balance. Maybe they're grippy socks. I don't know.
So maybe that was, maybe it was for the balance beam specifically. It was like, okay, if you want that
Ooh.
friction to kind of grab as much of that balance beam as possible. But I don't
never
think
thought
I've
of that.
ever, I mean, we've definitely pointed out the faux pas of people swimming with sneakers. I don't think I've ever seen someone swim in socks, at least not in quite
Yes.
some time.
Oh,
I feel like it'd make your
the
feet
thought
so
of a
heavy.
wet sock.
Right?
Well, but I think some of them were wearing shoes. I thought I saw people on the balance beam in shoes.
Which I would
so
imagine for the
perhaps-
balance beam portion, it's pretty much like a risk of like, okay, do you want to swim with wet shoes, but you have a better time navigating the balance beam as opposed to being barefoot?
Or in Asia's case, possibly were the soles of her shoes the kind that would be really slippery on it?
No,
and
Saul
so
already
she was
crossed the
like,
balance beam.
I thought he was. Anyways, yes. But like, is that maybe what you're thinking? Like, at least the fabric might like grip better, and if she has like one of those really slippery bottoms of the shoe, I don't know. These are the things that we need addressed in exit interviews, Mike. Okay.
Sorry.
Sure,
There's
I
so
love
many
hearing
things.
what they thought was going to happen, but I also want to know why they chose to
Wear
wear
socks in a
Socks
water challenge.
Yes. I need to know.
I
Like,
could just text Asia after this, and I think I might.
just please
I'll
get
wait
to the
for
bottom
her
of
to-
this.
Yeah, give her some
Like,
time. But
Hey, I know you have this like devastating episode of exposing your whole
Can we talk
soul
about
on
the socks?
Survivor, but why'd you wear socks?
yeah, the burning
This is
question
even
is
more
why the
important.
socks?
Okay, here's the thing. Personally, I buff the socks. Like I
Mhm.
love
Oh,
these
mhm.
socks, but I just
tie-dye?
I feel them weighing me down in the water from a
Yeah.
practical standpoint. I don't get it.
Yeah,
But maybe she thought instead, like, if I'm not the best swimmer, if the socks let me sink down to the ocean floor, they don't say I can't run there instead of swim to get to the end, to get to the buoy.
Yes. Well, famously, in all Olympic swimming events, you see Michael Phelps just sink to the bottom of the pool and walk along it. And that's how he got all of his Olympic medals.
he walks really fast.
There's
Really
no room.
fast.
Like
really
if you
wide
see-
stride.
That's why Usain Bolt could have been like an 8-time medal swimmer as well if he'd just known
Exactly.
the sock trick.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Yes. Olympic swimmers don't want you to know this one hack.
Wear socks in the pool so you
Socks
sink
in
to
the
the
pool.
bottom and then just run.
Run.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
All right.
But
I-
wait, one more
Yes.
question.
Yes.
So have you guys like ever put like a glove on in
No.
water?
Okay, wait. Is my hand already in the water and then I put the glove on while my hand is submerged, or am I wearing a glove and then submerge it into water?
Why would I put a glove on in the water?
So here's what I'm thinking, and this is what I'm wondering if like the sock could have the same, because there's nothing worse than when the water gets like trapped inside and it becomes like its own bubble. Because
Mm.
I have put gloves on while in the shower to like, okay, I know. Because
No, not like winter gloves, Mike. Like plastic gloves.
But like while
yeah,
you're
like
taking a shower?
silicone gloves.
Oh,
Like
latex.
cleaning gloves,
'Cause
but
the
not
other-
like the big.
Yeah, the
like,
other thing I was thinking of was like
Yellow
dish
ones.
gloves.
not the
Like,
yellow
alright.
ones. The
That's how
ones
Jenny
that are a
washes
little
her
bit
hair.
tighter. They're like our chicken gloves. You know when you're
Like for
like
touching raw
taking
meat.
apart yeah.
Oh, I thought you meant that if you blow it up, it looks like a chicken.
No,
And you
that's
put
a
it on your head
turkey.
and you go
Gobble,
cock-a-doodle-doo.
gobble.
No,
Yeah,
that's
it's
turkey, Mike.
Do we not all do that? No, you put
That's
it
a
on your head
turkey.
like a cock's on a rooster.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, this is
Yeah.
the first time we've had some cocks on your head.
I've tried eggplant.
Yeah, unlike Sam. Did you know
Anyway.
Andy's bi? I'm bi.
Bye.
Oh, I'm bi. I've tried eggplant.
Hello, bye.
Oh. I agree
What,
with
you
Liana.
saying goodbye so quickly?
Yeah, I would buff the aesthetic, but I snuff the instance in which we see them.
I
Because I feel like they're going to take forever to dry.
I love them. I do love them. I just do not understand them, but an incredible choice for Survivor attire.
I agree.
Yeah. And I was worried about getting the pockets of water stuck in the sock akin to in the glove.
Are we
Right.
sure those are socks?
What would
I
they
don't know
be
what they're made out
otherwise,
of.
Did
Mike?
she not like have a run in with some coral and like really messed up her
Like
feet?
really bloody.
Oh my
some
gosh.
bloody meaty feet. Yeah.
Maybe that's why she was actually voted out.
God.
It's like, well, this is for her own safety. She just lacerated the lower part of her ankle.
There's a reason why Rome was the one using the fishing equipment, okay? It's
Yeah.
dangerous out there in the ocean.
He was just being a protector.
He was just protecting her feet. All right. Let's talk
Ooh.
about Caroline's blouse, Mike. This is something you wanted to talk about.
Yeah, I
Her
specifically
button-down.
it's the third look. It's the one when she has it like all the way buttoned up when she's in the jungle that for some reason I really enjoy.
Very
just because
demure.
It
Very
does
mindful.
look very demure. Yeah, like it looks very different. I think it's because that we usually see these types of button downs on men. And so it's very rare to see them on women. And also, I love, Liana, that you had the full array of looks here because like she was able to really skin a cat 9 ways here.
Oh my
That's what
God.
it is for me. It's the styling it, right? The button up gives you opportunities to style it in different ways. You can have it half buttoned, you can have it unbuttoned all the way, you can have it tied, you can have it buttoned up. I think it just gives you a lot of versatility. I think the flowers
You do
are
a French
cute.
tuck.
Exactly. You can do the classic
Mm.
millennial French talk. There's just so many things about it that, just give it a little extra zhuzh. I also like the fact that it's not just completely blue, it's white, but with the little blue flowers. Very, very adorable. I like it.
I love it. I love that she's paired it with, the blue flowers with like the little blue like top underneath.
Mm-hmm.
She's very coordinated. Like she really understood the assignment of like,
Which is wild because apparently she was very clumsy in Ponderosa.
listen, I get her. I understand. Can't take a corner to save my life, girl.
She does have a bruise on her leg, so that might be.
Yeah, I get a bruise on my leg if the wind is
Same.
strong enough. Okay, that's just how we roll.
I got a bruise on my leg. You can't stop doing the robot.
Huh.
I have a lot of very stupid jokes in this podcast, particularly this week.
Let's just move on, Jenny.
I'm
just
so
ignore him.
free-
That's the best.
no.
I also will
can't.
say
I can't.
I did not pick this out by myself. Some people have pointed out to me, especially in this third picture, Caroline looks a lot like Laurel from the challenge in this particular angle.
Yes, she does. Yeah, she really does in this angle. Just the facial features, all of them really look like Laurel. Maybe she'll be a
see it.
champion in the individual immunity challenges.
Or maybe she'll be the champion of Survivor 47.
You never know.
Yeah, I love this. I love the idea of like the overshirt, because it's like you can, if it's lightweight, you can cover up if you need a little bit, but you don't want to get too hot. Like endless options. I always worry about choosing something that's like on the white side because it's like it's just gonna get dirty. I saw Andy's outfit. I was like, what are you doing, my friend? But you know, I think because it didn't seem to be like a stark white to start, I think that as it gets dirty, it's like that wasn't white to start. It's fine. It's just more off-white now. She's killing it. She looks great.
Next, I have multiple clothing items from Teeny. I want to talk about the whole ensemble because as I was watching through the episodes, I rewatched every single episode on fast speed looking for items of clothing.
Yeah.
And Teeny's
You're a
clothes
journalist.
kept standing out to me. So we have 3 items for Teeny. So the first is a crew neck sweater with, I think, 4 Canadian geese.
Those are Canada geese, baby.
That's got to be a talking point with Genevieve, right? Of like,
yeah,
I'm repping right now.
Yeah, maybe they bonded over that and we didn't even see it. Like, I would have loved to have that explanation.
That's
this
why
is
she
probably sorry. You know, I love geese.
Yes, of course.
I'm a waterfowl enthusiast. I literally, this is probably one of my favorite articles of clothing on Survivor ever.
Wow.
I love Teeny. You freaking nailed it. Okay. I know you might not even know who I am. You're not pandering to me, but I felt like this was for me. This sweater is for me. Okay. Love it. 10 out of 10 for me. Sorry. I had to get it out. I was feeling it. So
it's a crew neck sweater, which I love as well. This style. This is my jam. So to have it with the Canadian geese, I love.
It's giving Northern reflections for my Canadian folks. Okay. Canadians, if you're listening, it's giving Northern reflections. If you know, you know.
So next we have the infamous pants.
The scarecrow pants.
The scarecrow pants that were discussed that Jeff really wanted to. We didn't make you wear those. Hey, we didn't make you wear those. We didn't put you in the. Just to be clear, we dressed you. Okay. Like very adamant that he did not want to be associated with the scarecrow pants. And then I love this shirt the more I look at it.
The gorilla shirt.
A gorilla shirt, but the gorilla is wearing boxing gloves and is in a bit of a fighting stance. Like they're about to, sock it to another gorilla if they were to enter their territory.
I hope so. I hope, yeah.
The gorilla seems to be wearing pants and a bib, perhaps.
I think it's maybe more of like a top, like a boxer would wear, right? The sort of like guinea tee beater, for lack of a better term, like that sort of.
It's a cami.
Yeah, tank top, and then like boxing.
It's a penny.
Wouldn't you see it under? I mean, maybe
I think the arm is so girthy.
Big gorilla arm is blocking it. Yeah.
Okay.
Toes are out though.
Toes out. Yeah.
Like not behind a paywall.
Not behind a paywall. Where are his socks?
Are out.
Out. You can't, with the still that I've chosen, you can't really see the feet of the geese. So at least the geese's feet are kind of covered.
All right. Now I get to Jenny out about the middle article of clothing.
This is yours.
I am obsessed with these pants. From the moment I laid eyes on them, it's like Billy Garcia and Candace. I fell in love with these pants. It is so much like a third grade production of The Wiz, and you're trying to find things of like, this is the scarecrow. They got patches on the jeans. It's trendy enough without having to make the 8-year-old feel like they're really wearing a costume. I love the fact that drawing even more attention to it made it both better and worse. That Teeny then starts making excuses for it, and like you said, Jeff's like, all right, just so you know, listen. We'll make you lose your vote, but we're not going to make you dress in those ugly ass pants. Like, I love that was the line for this man.
Yeah,
we had nothing to do with this.
Yeah, exactly. Like,
we will not feed you, but we would never ask you to wear that.
Never have you wear. Maybe that's what you have to do. All right, you can get an advantage, but the risk is you have to wear these pants.
I love it because it also reminds me of like Laugh-In. Like I'm waiting for Charles Nelson Riley to pop out on one of the panels and give a one-liner and then pop his way back in.
Yeah, that's fair.
That's incredible. I love, like a storybook pant. You know, a pop-up book of pant.
All right. As exciting as the pants are, they are probably my least favorite item of the three, but overall I would buff the ensemble.
Yeah.
Especially I just love the
yeah.
crew neck sweater and the shirt a lot, so I'm going to buff it. I'm going to buff the fits.
They're all very memorable
Correct.
articles
Yes,
of clothing.
100%.
So if that is the assignment, like teeny 10 out of 10.
Nailed
I just feel like I can't do it, but like I am always giving the side eye to jeans on Survivor. I don't personally understand why anyone would choose to wear jeans. Like I'll never forget watching Beast Mode Cowboy jump off of the boat into the water with jeans on and like a big buckle belt, like being like, what would compel you to wear that for the marooning? But sure, love that for you. At least these are memorable jeans. So at least if you're going to be wearing wet, disgusting ass jeans on Survivor, they are memorable. So I will give that to Teeny. But I still don't ever understand why anyone would bring jeans on Survivor.
Yeah. I'm trying to remember if Caleb actually was wearing the jeans in the challenge that he nearly died on as well. I live in my jeans, I'll die in those jeans.
Imagine just like the worst heat, and then you're like, yes, this is the challenge to wear my jeans.
Well, durable fabric,
I feel like these would be like dress up pants for tribal council, like, all right, well, I'm going out somewhere for the evening. Let me put something presentable together.
Yes.
Like,
these are my dress up jeans.
These are my tribal jeans. Okay. How many outfits do they get? Like,
well, nowadays I think you're able to bring
tops.
you're able to bring I think like a few choices of clothing to
I think I just get so fixated on like one thing I've seen on people, and I feel like I haven't seen the goose sweater on Teeny since like the first episode.
What I'm wondering is, looking at Teeny's two shirts and thinking back to even people like Omer, obviously you can't wear like very specific brands on the show, but are animals kind of public domain?
Yes.
Is it like if I have an animal on a shirt, I'm pretty good to wear it so long as it's not like a kangaroo with a Nike swoosh on its head?
Yeah, I think if it's not like a discernible brand, I think
or character. Right.
Yeah.
So
like, if Mickey Mouse, maybe.
Exactly. Yeah. So as long as
it could be Steamboat Willie. That's public domain.
Real mouse.
Who
could be real mouse. Could be a real to life Mickey Mouse.
It's just a mouse.
It's just a mouse with red pants.
Okay, let's talk about our next look, and that is Gabe's polo.
Ooh.
What a choice. I can't decide where Gabe works, but this is a uniform shirt.
Is that a thing? Did I just make up a brand?
I don't know.
No, yeah.
Okay,
I don't think it is, but
definitely like, does he work at a hotel? I don't know.
Oh, no. It's absolutely that he works at the country club for the summer, a la High School Musical 2. That he's
gosh,
I just try to make a few extra bucks so I can save my way for basketball camp. I got a clerk at the hotel front desk. I hope no shenanigans ensue this summer.
He's got to go his own way, Mike.
Yeah, exactly. He's got to bet on it.
You gotta bet on it. Let's see if he can dance. Look, I actually like it. I think it's cute. Yeah. I think it was a bit of a surprise when he came out wearing it. It just felt like it didn't really fit his character, because look, you bring a set of clothes, right? And then the Survivor production chooses, right, exactly like what you're gonna wear. So, and they usually try to,
except for those pants.
We actually told you not to. Just be clear, explicitly don't like those pants.
You chose against our wishes,
right?
We explicitly told you not to wear the pants.
Do not wear these pants.
Do not bring things.
Okay.
So so like what was Gabe's sort of character that they were dressing him for when they decided that this polo needed to be one of the shirts that he would wear out on the island? Like that's what I keep thinking about.
I just wish that he was popping the collar. I
Oh
wish that
my,
it was the
no.
layered polo
Yes,
shirts.
I wish
Yes.
he wore
The
two
pink
polos and popped
and
both
the white
colors.
one underneath.
Not
like,
And then
enough
you roll the sleeves
polos.
up.
yeah. I want listen, tribal council is dark. I want to feel like I'm walking into a Hollister or an Abercrombie and Fitch. Like that's what this is giving to me. It's giving like hot boy summer, like fuck boy, like not gonna call you when we get to the fall. Like that's what this outfit is to me. I feel like he's got like it's not, I don't know, some sort of like linen short. It's giving like country club F boy.
Oh yeah. I mean, honestly, maybe I'm just thinking back to the whole Kyle limo driver metaphor. Kind of giving ballet to me. Of like,
Ooh.
make sure you don't scuff the Porsche, Harold.
Well, later on in the season, we might see the turntables. Maybe Kyle's the one telling Gabe what to do. Who knows?
I would love to see the turntables as in he becomes a DJ.
I will say this is nothing to do with the outfit, but the way you snapshotted Tiana's face in that second picture, Liana, she's going, damn!
Whoa! Where'd you get that one?
Yeah, which, I mean, it's in reaction to him playing the idol, right? But out of context.
But it's just like, oh, you look good.
Yes, so I might have to bump it for that reason. That Tiana's low-key vouching for it.
We live.
Yeah.
I love it.
I mean, it's holding up well too, like
Well, I think he only brings it out. I think he like puts it on a hanger and hangs it on the shelter.
It's a
Exactly.
tribal look. Yeah.
It's tribal look. Yeah, speaking of tribal pants.
Yeah.
All right. Let's talk about our next look. So this is one that I actually hadn't noticed until I was going back through.
I did.
This is
did.
So Keyshawn has this shirt. Jenny, you take it away. Describe this. What even is this?
I don't think that we saw this shirt until this episode, Liana, because I don't remember seeing it. But when watching this episode, I was like, okay, Keyshawn, like I am obsessed with this very colorful. It's almost like it looks like an abstract painting, like the amount of different colors and like lines. I can't even really tell from the picture what is happening, but I love a loud button-up collar, like short sleeve shirt. Oh my god, it's my favorite thing. And it's just because I love that he got this because it's not clearly red. You know what I mean? Like this is like an ambiguous colored shirt because of all of the different colors represented on it. And
that's the final tribal council pitch. It's like, we're not just lava. We're not just Gada.
Community, Mike.
Community,
Jeff was
exactly.
talking a lot about community in that. Like, I'm just saying, like, is there something here?
It was the second most important thing after we did not tell Teeny to wear those pants.
That was the first note, and then community. He looks so good in this shirt. He is killing it. I love this look.
I'm gonna snuff it.
Oh my!
Wow, the betrayal.
This is a me thing. I can't pay attention to what he's saying because I'm so distracted by the shirt. This is a Dan Flash's incredibly complicated. I don't want to know how much it costs. The patterns and the colors, they're vibrant and I love them. But I'm trying to discern what this man is telling me about where he's going to go in the vote. All I can do is stare at this thing. So it's no fault to Keyshawn. It's much more of a me thing. But that being said, if I'm talking about it from my perspective, I can't see it if I need to take in what Keyshawn is trying to tell me.
Is this okay? And this is where we get into, can you use clothing as strategy? Because I feel like Keyshawn is a doctor. He is a very smart man. He's got glasses, okay? We know how people feel about glasses. I think that this is what I call a party shirt, okay?
Ooh.
This is what we call party shirts in my household, okay? And I think that this is a very slick move for him to kind of be like, I'm like a fun, goofy guy. Look at my party shirt. And I think that it makes him kind of seem a little bit more like fun. But the flip side is it better to wear like very nondescript things where it's like you want to fly under the radar and not draw a lot of attention to you. And this shirt is drawing attention. So it's like, I feel like for Keyshawn especially, I love this choice because it kind of gives him like, I'm here for the vibes, but does it make him too, like, he's very noticeable now. These are a lot of, we got lime green, we got like, like a coral color, we got orange, like it's beautiful, but it's a lot.
The antithesis of camouflage, perhaps, when he's out there.
Yeah.
I think he looks good. I think he looks really good in the shirt. I'm Buffett. That's
He's
my logic.
Serving. He's
serving.
I also might snuff it because is there an article of clothing that is so enviable that you actually want to vote that person out to try to acquire it?
Right. Can I have your jacket? Yeah. Can I have your multicolored geometric party shirt?
I think we're past that at this point. I don't think it's Keyshawn, can I have your party shirt? It's get Keyshawn to leave the party shirt behind.
Yeah.
And then go to tribal
make
council
him feel
and
safe.
then vote him off.
It's layered because you need him to feel so safe. We're not worried about people playing idols. We need people to leave their party shirts back at camp so that you can acquire them.
I mean, I support that
emerging
move.
gameplay. Yeah,
if that's the motivation for voting someone out, please do it.
We talk about pettiness.
Champion that.
Yeah.
Exactly. That's amazing. I don't know. I wanted his shirt. Why'd you vote Keyshawn out? I don't know. I wanted his shirt. Look good.
It's like a really nice shirt. You wouldn't tell me.
I wore it to tribal council.
Exactly.
And to vote him out. Imagine wearing it to like final tribal council,
and he's like, there.
Yeah,
like,
after you voted him out.
Penner style, I want my shirt back.
And you're just like, hey, this is actually a sign of respect because I saw that shirt and I said, that's a winning shirt. That's a shirt you wear to final tribal council and ask people to give you $1 million. And I said, I can't let him do it. It had to be me.
Or what you do is you say, oh my God, Keyshawn, I'm so sorry. And you say, you see how good my social game is? I would give him the shirt off my back because that's how good our relationship is.
It is his shirt, but I would give
it back to him. The shirt I
would
stole.
Return the stolen goods.
I'm a pennant man.
Oh gosh. All right.
Oh my God.
The next piece of clothing that we're going to talk about. So this one, all right.
Ooh.
It's I think different sweaters.
They have to be different sweaters, yeah.
Because both Andy and Annika have these big, bulky, off-white colored sweaters. I felt thematically like these two things could go together. Jenny, is this what you were talking about when you were looking at Andy's fit? Is it the sweater? Or is it the other white?
No,
shirt
it was the like white pants and like the like his marooning outfit where he's like in full white, and I'm like, this is just a disaster waiting to happen.
Well, especially knowing that they're going to do the baptism by mud, that those things are not going to stay white for long.
Yeah.
Oof, imagine.
Okay, so I would say like Annika's looks more of like a cashmere, like thinner knit type, whereas like with Andy, this I don't know if you can call that a cable knit, but it's like cable knit-esque. It's a little chunkier. I mean, they're probably both warm at night. Love that for them. I
will snuff Annika at least because there is one problem with hers. Static electricity.
Ooh.
Now listen, you could target people for any old reason. If Annika tries to walk up to you and you get a little bzz from her.
I hate that.
Because she's just been rolling around in her sweater all night trying to get some sleep. Like, I'm hungry. I'm tired. I feel like I'm at my wit's end mentally, emotionally, physically. And when you walk up to me, you give me a little shock. 3 strikes and you're out. That's it. I'm going after you.
But could you use it to start a fire, though?
That's interesting.
There's some utility to the electricity generated.
Then what you do is you say, Annika, why don't you leave behind your static electricity
Can I
sweater?
have your
Go to-
Can I have your static electricity sweater, please?
Mr. Flint.
Yeah,
Yeah, who needs Mr. Flint when you've got Annika's sweater?
that's what you gotta
Mrs.
give up.
Goodbye, Mrs. Sweater.
If someone just like puts that, we're just doing whatever we want on the parchment. We vote people out at this point, where it's just like, I actually don't know her name. I just wrote Mrs. Sweater on it.
Yeah, bye Mrs. Sweater.
I mean, Rome did attempt to draw an entire seventh of the world on a parchment, so
No
really
one
anything
spelled
goes.
Asia's name right, but
Yeah, I don't know what Keyshawn was going for.
yeah. I mean, he had the double A. Wait,
But
no,
yeah,
there's
there's
no
no double A.
A. What is he doing? He was like,
shirt.
I'm gonna do something. He's like, it's Asia, but it's different. So he's like, I'm doing double A, like the double A that you would get at Aaron. Like,
Oh, maybe.
is that what he was going
Asia.
for? Asia.
I will buff Andy because, and this is so brilliant on his part to choose this sweater, because the first thing that comes to mind, I don't know about the two of you, for me, is Knives Out. You know?
Oh,
I'm thinking about what's his name? Chris Evans, the character that he plays. And spoiler alert for Knives Out, when the character's first introduced, he's meant to be seen as like an ally to the protagonist, right? A friend to assist in the investigation, only to turn out that he is the murderer, that he is the culprit. And I
Ooh, I love
think that
this.
Andy could easily present that, right? He has been for a bit as like, yeah, you can work with him. What am I gonna do? You know, I'm losing beware advantages. I just foam at the mouth on the mat.
Oh
But
my god.
make no mistake, this guy is a killer, and the sweater is here to prove it.
Okay. Wow.
What an argument.
I mean, I love that as an analogy. Here's the thing, as a fan of Andy, as someone who absolutely adores him, I have met him. He's seriously one of the nicest people.
Mhm.
I feel like I've known him a long time, and I truly adore him. I want that first episode was so hard, but I felt like there is going to be an arc. There is going to be a really great story for Andy, and I love that we can say the sweater is like part of it, where it's like it makes him look so approachable, like, and comforting. But yeah, there's something like diabolical about it.
My thought was you could, with Andy's, the yarn thread seems large enough. If you could get a loose thread and maybe
Ooh,
craft
use
something
that.
else
Oh, maybe just
out
make a
yes.
fake idol, yeah.
Yeah,
Yes.
Or
something.
if you get lost in. Oh, you know what he could do actually? If he decides to leave a beware advantage sitting there again, tie a little thread around it, and then unravel it all the way back to Kemp. And if someone tries to take it, it'll be a little tug
There
on
you
the
go.
line, and then you fish them in. That's how you fish
Really?
Got
Rome.
him.
Got
That's
him.
so good. That's so good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like the amount of crafts that could become possible from the sweater it's endless.
The limit
It's
does
great.
not exist.
I think I would
It's not
snuff
yellow.
them.
I love that. Here's the thing. I don't think I would want to wear yellow. I don't think I look good in yellow. So I
Yeah.
love that he's like, it's beige, it's oatmeal, and it works.
Yeah.
Jenny, don't let me go into an entire monologue about how you look good in yellow.
I truly, it's not yellow and orange. You won't be seeing me in yellow or orange.
It's the
I
essence
love-
of yellow.
I love a lemon. I love an orange. I love some citrus, but I won't be wearing it.
I like them, but I snuff them for Survivor. I just feel like they're gonna get damp, and then they're never really gonna
Yeah.
dry, and then I'm just gonna be
Ugh,
like,
and they're gonna
slightly
stink.
wet. Yeah. So I
But-
personally, but at home, I would take it.
Do we know like much about the time of year and whether it's super cold at night? Like sometimes is having the sweater and like being, like offering it to the person that's really cold. those
Is it
things
worth it?
matter.
Yeah.
I'm like we know that those little like social graces of comforting people in human moments make a difference to people. Like Andy is just such a sweetie pie that I could see like him offering his lovely warm cable knit sweater as long as he's not wearing it in the water like Asia with her socks.
Imagine him
I think
navigating
that
the balance beam with the sweater on.
oh my god, you just sink.
And
That's when you
socks.
sink to the bottom. It's wearing that sweater. I just think that like you could use that as a tool, being like, I brought this great sweater. Let me keep you warm. You can wear it tonight. And that those are just little things that mean things to people.
Mhm.
I don't know.
I mean, I think, they did film in like May and June, which was
Mhm.
technically, because it's the southern hemisphere, it would have been getting closer to winter. But that being said, no matter what, it gets cold at night there, especially when you are right near the water. So
Yeah.
a lot of people talk about finding something to keep them warm at night, no matter what time of year they play in.
Mhm.
Yeah. Cable knit sweaters.
The next series of items that we're going to talk about is Rome's overall look.
Oh my gosh.
We
I have
have
thoughts.
the Paddington Bear look.
Yes.
Some people are saying Paddington
I said
Bear.
Some people.
I said
Some
Blossom,
people.
but I do like Paddington Bear as well. I think
Yeah.
specifically when he had the sweatshirt tied around the waist, it was very Blossom to me.
Yes. Well, that's so yeah. So he has it tied around the waist in his tribal council look, but I also wanted to get some close-ups of the sweater itself. It's such a gamer sweater. I don't like. I
hate it.
right
I
like
love
a
it.
15-year-old boy is wearing. This,
Yes,
you know what I mean?
It's giving like Exco or like I feel like it's from the mall in like 2003 and like
Yes.
it's very gamer guy.
See,
The
that's
like red
interesting.
camo.
Yeah. Well, it's not really. It's just more like a red pattern.
But I
guess
think it's
camo?
trying to be camo.
It's like half camo, which makes
It's
no
like
sense.
if you're camo for like fire.
like soot,
like-
soot and fire.
If you're around fire, it's like, oh, I can't see Rome. It's just
I can't see.
flames
Yeah, the
everywhere.
one thing when you're in a fire, you don't want to be seen. Really,
Yeah.
detection is the one thing you want to seek out the least in a fire.
Well, what if you're making Final Four fire and they'll never see you coming?
Yeah, they'll be like, "Oh, Rome
Oh!
wins! Oh, wait a minute, that was just
Oh,
a
no, wait.
sweater."
No, no.
Yeah. Oh my god. And the other person stops, like they're like, oh my
Yeah.
god, look at the flames right beside me.
Rome's like, "I can make fire, guys," and he just lays down in the pit.
That's why I could do it so quick.
I am more so mystified by the lightning tank top.
Yeah,
Because
is that
this
what's
to
happening
me,
there?
well, you
Yep.
talk about gamer. This to me is like, I just bought the game and I don't have enough money to spend on acquiring all of these random wardrobe choices. So like, I'll get what I'm given and this is it. It's so generic. Like, it seriously seems a screen printed pattern just on a tank top for him. Like, I don't think he legitimately bought this in a store.
Now, if him and Annika were to get together, think about the sparks, the electricity flying between the two of them. You know
Maybe that's what
I mean?
happened on the journey.
Maybe, yes.
Yeah.
I almost like obviously my gut inclination was, well, obviously I'm gonna snuff this, but it's almost so bad that it's good now.
It's
You know what I
iconic,
mean?
yeah.
Yes, exactly. Especially the hat. The hat, the way he's folded it up is really doing it for me.
Oh, yeah.
I
like
love it.
The
It's so-
hat, I'm buffing for sure. Because the way that it's, yeah, like you said, the way that it's folded up, like it's not a bucket hat. This is like more than a bucket hat.
Mhm.
It's and he's folded it up. I love hats especially on Survivor. I think that it is actually a smart item to bring with you.
Of course, yeah.
But the way that he's wearing it is so funny to me. Like it's so hilarious. I like the tank top. It's like camo, but like edgy. It's like because it's kind of got that same sort of camo-esque pattern.
Oh yeah, he
but
definitely fit in a lightning storm. We would not
Exactly.
be able to pick him out anywhere.
If they need to make lightning at the Final Four, he's ready. I hate the red camo hoodie though. I am snuffing that to death. I'm so sorry, Rome, but no, I hate it. I'm sorry. It's also like it looks like it's short. You know what I mean? Like it's like I don't know. What does he have in that little Kanga pouch? What's he hiding?
His
All of
idol.
his tricks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a bag of tricks.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm sure it's warm and comfy, but I just the pattern is it's triggering to me.
I would love a hoodie out there. That would be
Oh my god, it would be so it is
best.
like really a smart choice to have a
Yeah.
hoodie.
I want a hoodie with detachable sleeves.
Of course you would.
So I can be
Now
like
you
Bill
just rip 'em
Belichick.
off.
Yes, I can be
Yeah.
like, all right, I'm ready for this challenge. I'm ready for it
Would
to
you wear
swim.
tearaway
Down to
pants
business.
too?
Oh, I bring stripper pants out there like nobody's
Stripper
business.
pants? Is that what
Yeah.
you guys call them?
Yeah, tearaway pants, stripper pants.
I
same
just call
thing.
them tearaway.
And what other instance would you want to tear away your pants?
When
Survivor?
you are getting ready for a track meet and it's time to go. And you
Oh
put them-
yeah.
What am I, Superman? Like, do I have to go jump into the middle of crime and not take 2 minutes to change my pants?
No,
Well,
I
what
do
is
remember
the
doing
reason for
that.
tearaway pants?
I do remember
Erotic.
playing sports and wearing
I just
pants,
did the
and then
first
you just
one.
rip them off, and it is a
Yeah.
very satisfying.
It's like
feeling.
business time. It's
Yeah,
like,
you're
oh,
we're
I'm gonna
gonna
run
play.
now. Like,
Oh,
take
that's
these
very
pants
intimidating
off. I got
first time you
shorts
do it. Yeah,
underneath.
when you're like, Survivor's ready, you're like, yeah.
Yeah. Honestly, why haven't there been more people on Survivor with tearaway pants?
I mean,
Why?
if only Jeff would actually dress them, maybe
That
we
was
could
it.
see some
Yeah,
tearaway.
that might be something. I mean, it is Survivor is a family show, so Jeff might expressly ask them not to wear tearaway pants.
tearaway. Please
Yeah.
no tearaway pants.
And like, you don't have to get branded ones. They're again in the early 2000s.
Yeah, wear one with like an ostrich on it.
Like, you can just get like the nondescript tearaway pants.
Okay, well, let's move on to our last look. All right, so we've made the jokes
loves
about
the
oh,
stripe.
where's Genevieve? Who's Genevieve? She's gotten a little bit of a purple edit, and it was no surprise to me that she has a multiple red and white striped shirts. Who else wears red and white
Wow.
striped shirts? None
Wow.
other than where's freaking Waldo? I think this is
Liana,
a long con. This
this
is my
is
new
some of your best
conspiracy
work.
theory. Thank you very much. The fact that she not only has one but two, and look, maybe on this far left shirt it could be slightly pink. I don't care. It's essentially a
matter.
red and white striped shirt.
That's
as soon
Waldo.
what's so funny is I was even on Genevieve watch, but I didn't spot the connection until I put two and two together. She is our Where's Waldo of
This is strategy, and this is what I was
Yes.
saying earlier. Like, how do you choose clothing strategically? And I wasn't even I was thinking like bland colors that don't
Mhm.
pop or whatever. I did not even think of dress like Waldo.
Yes, that's
No
basically the next
one
best
behind
thing
you.
to dressing. We talk about, oh, so and so's dressing in camouflage. No, this is human camouflage. This
Yes.
is the most nondescript person in existence. You want to dress up like them.
That's why we don't know she's there. She's
Yeah.
so hard to spot.
I love that she has the round glasses like Waldo as well. Like, the whole look is Waldo chic, obsessed.
I love
All-
it. But you see what Waldo's wearing? He's wearing some jeans.
Jeans, yeah, Jenny.
Yeah,
That would not
that's
fly
true.
on
I would
Survivor.
not suggest but she took that and she said, "I'll wear a soft pant. I'll wear a dark
Mm.
soft pant. Good enough."
She puts her hair up in a bun. Waldo has a hat with a little poof on top.
Yeah,
I'm just
yeah.
saying the
Yeah, what kind of hat is that? Makes Waldo look like an asshole.
no, it's like a winter beanie kind of hat,
Yeah.
right? The
That's
little
like so without the pom-pom, if that hat were black, that's your classic F-boy hat.
Ooh, F-boy Waldo.
Like the rolled black.
You may not be able to find me,
Honestly-
but I can find something on you. Lickety split.
I honestly, you dress Waldo in like the F-boy style I'm envisioning. Holy shit. I'm trying to find him. I'm
Is there like
looking
a
for
sexy
him.
Where's Waldo?
Oh, let's look
Yes,
this up. Absolutely.
like
Sexy
gaslighter
Waldo.
Waldo. You know, like
It's mostly
bad
just
boyfriend
women.
Waldo.
Sexy man
Where is he? He
Waldo.
ghosted you. I don't know.
All right, well, this is beauty's in the eye of the beholder, but these are
Let's see.
objectively ugly.
You
Let
have
me
to
see. I mean, yeah, I'll share my screen, see if I can get
Okay.
some.
I need to see this because I'm just getting a lot of sexy ladies dressed as Waldo.
All right, well, I don't know what my algorithm's
Halloween
doing then.
costume. No, that's gonna be a top Halloween costume this year. Sexy Waldo.
Sexy Waldo.
Waldo.
Yeah.
All right, so I have
My costume now.
Here we go.
If no one else wants it, I'm taking it.
Yeah,
Sexy
exactly.
Genevieve.
All right, this is sexy man Waldo, and like,
What?
I don't know. Would you do this?
No,
I don't know if I do this.
He looks like an
No.
old-timey criminal.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if
Oh,
I do
no.
this. And he's wearing jeans.
Wait, what did you Google? Sexy man Waldo?
Sexy man Waldo.
Sexy man Waldo.
Sexy man Waldo. Oh god. I'm so
Well,
scared
okay,
of what
okay.
can
Well,
happen.
now
that's
we're
actual
talking.
sexy Waldo.
Okay, deviant
Yeah.
art.
DeviantArt is gonna always bring you that
DeviantArt comes
sexy.
through.
I don't know why they decided to show me the ass.
Show me. I
don't
gotta
know
see it from
why
the back.
Posterior is the picture. Oh, I hate to see you leave, but I love to watch you walk away.
But he's
With that
standing
awkward
so
arms. Yeah.
standing like that. His arms akimbo. Like what? Oh
Looks
my
like he's about to
gosh.
be arrested.
Oh, here's a good one.
Oh
my gosh.
It's like
Oh, it's one of those, like-
massworld.com.
One of those.
Oh,
like,
it's a suit. One of those morph
suits.
suits.
Yeah.
One of those, like,
Yeah.
Green
Oh,
Man,
that's
yeah.
creepy. Has a lot of shots of
Oh my
Waldo's
God.
back.
Brown-eyed
Huh.
Adrian Waldo.
There he is.
Fashionably
Ayo.
Okay,
male.
I don't know about. Oh boy! All right.
Move on, Mike.
Oh my
Oh,
God.
here's the
Okay.
okay, great. Here's how you can do the costume.
Yeah,
A mess
copy
in your
his
bag.
steal my look.
Yes. How
Waldo
to get
is
Waldo's
just a
look.
hipster, okay?
This
Like,
is what Genevieve saw before she
Well,
went out on the
especially-
island. She was like, "Give me
especially
that."
this.
yeah.
Oh.
Oh.
Sexy
please.
time. Where's Waldo seduction gif?
Wow. Imagine
Where
Not
would
that
where
research
would you
history.
use
Making
this?
that.
What's the instance where you would use this?
Well, now in our group chat,
Yeah.
I'm getting a lot of sexy Waldo reacts.
When you're looking for something, it's just like, I'm right here, girl.
Yeah. All right.
Wow.
I mean, Liana,
Anyway.
incredible observation on your
Thank
part.
you.
That's
Yes.
Beautiful.
Yes.
And we have
So
to
I-
buy all of it just because it's so genius.
It's so
I mean,
genius.
it's so smart. It's next level. We weren't even thinking about it. I can't believe it took me 3 episodes to notice, but now
that's
we
the
all
point.
know. That's
yeah,
I know. Well,
that's how we know it works. It's
I was never
like
good at those books anyway.
Yeah, but then it's gonna be like the Where's Waldo books, where I don't know why I got really thrown into the deep end initially, where like there are various books in the Waldo series, and there was one where it's like just all pages of red and white stripes. And
Mhm.
so that might be the case on Survivor, where if people are listening to this, 49 might be an influx on a red tribe of red and white striped shirts,
Mhm.
and then it actually will become a bit of a problem.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Yep. And then how do you pick the real one out? And then it becomes quite challenging.
Mm-hmm.
I get it.
they need to implement something like that for a challenge though, like a true like needle in the haystack type challenge would be really fun. I don't know how you do it, but I think it's a fun
Throw
it's a fun
Genevieve
concept.
under a stack of hay. They gotta find Waldo in a haystack.
Put her in with a bunch of the dream team. They're all
Yes,
dressed the
exactly.
All dressed
same.
like Waldo.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
grab a bunch of other like white women who are brunette and dress them all in the same outfit and be like, okay, can you tell who's your tribe member?
Yeah.
An honor.
Or like partially blindfolded, or it's like you have like one, like if you have like an eye patch
Partially
or something
blind.
like
You have an eye patch.
just one eye.
Yes.
Just one eye to find the Genevieve.
Perception quite off.
I don't know. You have to be able to like let them see, but you want to like challenge them a little bit.
All right. Well,
What great
Jenny,
ideas we have here.
Such great ideas, Liana. Fantastic work as per usual.
Yeah.
We are not going to cast a blind eye to the charity that you have highlighted this week. What do you have on deck for us and the listeners?
Me?
Yeah, you.
I think you said Liana. I was like, I thought it was me, but then you were anyway. Sorry. I've mentioned this before. It's an organization that is near and dear to my heart. It is the International Association for Premenstrual Disorders, IAPMD.org. If you are a menstruating person and you find that you get extremely depressed or are having a really hard time like 2 weeks before your period, or someone you love is going through that, you will learn a lot of things through this organization. It has been a lifesaver for me. So even if you're not able to donate, even just reading about some of this stuff, I think that a lot of people have found a lot of answers, myself included. So I always like to shout them out. IAPMD.org.
All right, Jenny, thank you so much. As per usual, such a delight having you on. Of course, under sad circumstances, but like you
Yes.
forecasted, I think we were able to make some lightness out of all of this and be able to at least talk about several emergent strategies involving Survivor clothing. So while it may not have helped Asia, if our friends decide to go on future Survivor seasons, now they have
Please
a
stop.
bunch.
Stop it. No.
Well, if you
please
have
don't.
to, there'd be a bunch of wardrobe-based tactics that you can implement.
That is true. And if I can offer something, I'm glad it could be that. No, this was really, really fun. I was really sad that this had to be the time that we got to do this, but it it made me feel so much better. I really feel like it was cathartic to be able to find some levity and laugh and spend time with you guys. Thank you for always letting me come and be silly with you and talk too much. I appreciate you both so much. It's always a good time. I love the B&B. I'm so grateful for the B&B's
There you go.
existence in the Survivor world, because even when things get a little dark and sad, we always have the B&B to go to. So
Listen, be silly and talk too much are basically like our two mottos at this point. What would you like to plug, Jenny? Anything you want to plug for the listeners out there?
So in September, I took a little podcasting hiatus because my day job was just so busy. But I'm back. I'm back on the horse. So coming this week, House of Villains season 2.
Oh,
Coming back to E, we will be covering it. I believe that Rob Chappelle and I will be doing like kind of a small cast preview preseason podcast that should be hitting your podcast feeds within the next few days. So look out for that. I believe the premiere is on October 9th. So stay tuned for coverage of that. I'm really excited. The first winner of Survivor, Richard Hatch, is on House of Villains season 2, believe it or not, and a lot of other interesting characters. So it should be a great time. If you haven't checked out House of Villains season 1, there's time to binge it before the next season. I don't know that the lore will be that important, but it might be, because we have a returning person. So yeah, so that's what's coming out. And you can follow me on social media at Jenny Autumn. That is where I'll plug anything else that's going on. And again, thanks for being nice and being my friends, and I love you.
Oh, we love you too. Liana, what would you like to plug?
Well, you can catch me doing the Masked Singer wrap up with Puya. We're chugging along on the season. So far, so good. I also joined Puya on the 90 Day Fiancé podcast. If you love personal drama, boy, do I have a show for you. It is chocked full. This season is wackadoo. One of the main plot points has to do with gonorrhea. I won't spoil it, but very exciting.
Great plug. Hey, if you're interested in gonorrhea.
The most excited you'll be about gonorrhea.
Oh boy, yes it is. Yes it is. And then I am going to be doing my first Big Brother podcast of the season.
Ooh, wow.
The recap of the recap.
Oh, the most important one.
Now, have you watched any of it? Or are you just coming in for the first time and taking information in through that episode?
I would love that.
Maybe, okay? Maybe. I may have missed a couple episodes, so I'm really hoping they covered that content.
Well, that's the episode for you. It's the recap.
It's what I need. Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. I'm so ready to relive Crazy Eyes and all of that throughout the entire season. So that will be this Friday's episode of Big Brother.
All right. And so you can check out everything for Liana at Liana RHAP. You can follow me at a Mike Bloom type. Of course, I had the pleasure of talking with Asia about everything. It was a really nice chat. It always is. And she gives plenty of her perspective as well as to why she turned down the Saul idea. Again, maybe why she didn't want to split 2-2-2. Of course, her opinions on Rome, all of that jazz. So check that out over at parade.com, as well as doing exit press for Big Brother, for the challenge, for the circle, which just finished. I did a little bit of the Masked Singer as well, which actually I'll post about this on social media, but I have a very fun story about this that I haven't shared to anybody. So I interviewed, spoiler alert, Yvette Nicole Brown, got eliminated. And I decided to shoot my shot. I said like, oh,
Mike, you're married.
well, okay. Well, listen, Angela, if you're out there, don't worry, babe. Don't worry.
I'm talking about you all the time.
I'm talking about you all the time.
Talking to you.
Well,
every day.
Because for those who may remember, we did a Summer of Survivor podcast where we did a brand steal of a celebrity edition of Survivor, and Yvette Nicole Brown was on it. And so I'd said like, okay, this is very much off the beaten path, but I cover Survivor. I talk about Survivor. And over the summer, we did this Celebrity Survivor, and she interrupts me and she goes, "Oh, I won." And I was like, "Yeah, how do you know?" And someone had sent her the brand steal on Twitter, and she had watched it all.
Amazing.
Oh my God.
And she's like, "That was you?"
She's like, you are so much weirder than I thought.
Exactly. You validated any pretense I had by watching this. She's like, I didn't understand what was happening, but I'm grateful that I was able to live out my dream without actually getting to do it. So yeah, absolutely wild thing. I thought I was going to come in with a bit of a blindside, and she blindsided me. So I'll have that interview up soon.
That's
Incredible.
great. I can't wait. Yeah, that's
so
amazing.
Funny.
I love the idea, the pretense that she's coming in thinking that, oh, I'm going to talk to a respected journalist who's going to interview me. And it's like, oh, it's that guy who did that weird simulation thing. Yeah, it was that guy.
At least with the Survivor community, they know what they're getting in for. Like all these celebrities, they don't know what nonsense they have.
I love the idea that you were just like, yes, I'm going to bring up this very strange like simulation that they were a part of that I ran. And that the fact that wasn't even news.
That's the thing.
Crazy.
I don't know. Maybe I felt something. I was like, I have a feeling she either will understand
She'll
it
get
or
this. Yeah.
maybe she's watched it already and dedicated 3 hours of her life. So I'll post that clip on Twitter, maybe. And then, of course, on the scripted side of things, doing The Penguin, doing Lost, doing TV for Real. Last thing I will mention as well is I had the pleasure of getting to attend the Survivor Beach Drop event in Brooklyn on Saturday. And I just want to give a special thanks to anyone who came and introduced themselves to me. It was a really, really fun day. There was a whole smattering of challenges there. You can check it out on the RHAP Instagram, where I talked with a bunch of former players, got to participate in some challenges alongside some of them. Some went well, some maybe not so much. Not a great track record with RHAP podcasters as of late when it comes to challenges, but it was such a great time. Special thanks to CBS for having all of us out there and for putting that event together. It was such a great time. And I also can't wait to see everybody in just a week and change time, too, in New York City. But first, we have another episode to watch. So Liana and I will be back next weekend covering episode 4. Very interesting to see where we move forward from here. Everyone's been to Tribal Council. Doesn't look like we're swapping. Looks like we're sticking with these tribes through all 5 pre-merge votes. And so, like we talked about, fractures are developing with these interpersonal tiffs. And sometimes those develop into like actual strategic schisms. So we shall see if that manifests. TBD guest next week, but no matter what, it'll sure be a lot of fun to talk it all through. Thank you all so much for listening. Special thanks to the entire team at RHAP behind the scenes for packaging this for your eyes and ears, and Will from America for his fantastic theme song. We'll be back next weekend covering episode 4 of Survivor 47. Until next time, we'll check you out at your next day.